A country brimming with natural wonders, Bolivia is the land of the Andes, where snow-capped volcanoes rise beside cobalt-blue lagoons, a place that astonishes with its diversity of landscapes, from towering mountains and arid deserts to the lush Amazon rainforest, all blending into a breathtaking panorama. Its cities, with historic centers filled with churches, plazas, and carefully restored colonial mansions, stand in contrast to the Bolivian Altiplano, home to some of the planet's greatest natural treasures, such as the world's largest salt desert and Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake on Earth. Let us journey together to explore and uncover some of the most curious and extraordinary facts about Bolivia. Welcome to the Places of the World channel. Bolivia is a landlocked country, with a rich history and an astonishing cultural diversity that captivates travelers from around the world. Its very name pays tribute to Simón Bolívar, the liberator who played a decisive role in the independence of much of South America. Bolivia is a true mosaic of indigenous, European, and mestizo cultures, each preserving its own traditions and customs. Ancestral peoples such as the Aymara and the Quechua keep alive their languages, garments, and age-old rituals. One fascinating aspect of the nation is its dual capital system. Sucre, the constitutional capital, is home to the judiciary and regarded as the birthplace of Bolivia's independence. La Paz, meanwhile, houses the executive and legislative branches, serving as the country's political and administrative center. This division reflects the historical and political complexity of Bolivia, as well as the shared importance between these two cities. From the majestic Altiplano, with Lake Titicaca and the dazzling Salar de Uyuni, to the dense forests of the Amazon, Bolivia unfolds with breathtaking natural landscapes. The city of Potosí, with its storied mountain of silver, stands as a symbol of the nation's mining past and is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Another defining characteristic of Bolivia is its lack of access to the sea. After the War of the Pacific in the late 19th century, the country lost its coastline to Chile, a loss that has profoundly shaped its history and development. And yet, Bolivia continues to embrace its identity and cultural wealth with pride. Today, it is a nation in constant transformation, brimming with both economic and touristic potential. Its warm-hearted people, flavorful cuisine, and vibrant cultural heritage make Bolivia a truly unique and fascinating destination to discover. La Paz, proudly recognized as the world's highest administrative capital at 3,650 meters above sea level, rises majestically among the mountains of the Andes. Its modern cable car network, a unique urban transport system, connects La Paz with the neighboring city of El Alto, offering spectacular views of the valley and of Illimani, the towering snow-capped giant that soars to 6,438 meters. In the city's colonial heart, the charming Jane Street enchants with its cobblestone pavement and colorful colonial houses, home to museums dedicated to preserving Bolivia's history. Murillo Square, the center of political power, is dominated by the majestic Metropolitan Cathedral and the Government Palace, silent witnesses to the events that have shaped the nation. Nearby, the Basilica of San Francisco, with its striking mestizo-style facade, stands as a symbol of the fusion between colonial architecture and indigenous artistry. On the outskirts of the city, the Valley of the Moon surprises visitors with rock formations sculpted over millennia by wind and rain, creating a landscape that recalls the surface of another world. The Valley of Souls, with its stone spires reaching skyward, offers a mystical atmosphere, an ideal setting for treks and exploratory hikes. For the more adventurous, the infamous Death Road, the North Yungas Road, winds its way from the heights of the Andes down into the tropical Yungas region. Renowned for its sheer cliffs and dramatic past, this extreme route has become a favorite among cyclists seeking both adrenaline and breathtaking views. La Paz is a city of contrasts, where the modern meets the traditional, inviting you to discover its treasures at every turn. while the Andean sky paints the twilight with unforgettable colors. The Bolivian Altiplano, situated at more than 3,500 meters above sea level, is one of the most fascinating regions in South America. A place where history, culture, and nature converge in awe-inspiring landscapes and cities rich with heritage. El Alto, the highest major city in Bolivia, is a vibrant urban center where tradition blends seamlessly with modern life. Lake Titicaca, the world's highest navigable lake, is revered as a sacred site by the Andean peoples. Its crystalline waters embrace the islands of the sun and the moon, regarded as the mythical birthplace of Inca civilization. Tiwanaku, once the center of one of the most important pre-Inca cultures, still impresses with its archaeological wonders, from the Sun Gate to the Kalasasaya Temple, enduring testaments to the ingenuity and spirit of its people. At the heart of the Altiplano lies Oruro, famous for its spectacular carnival, recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Its dances, music, and vibrant costumes embody the Andean worldview. Potosí, a symbol of colonial wealth, is home to the iconic Cerro Rico, whose silver mines once fueled the economy of the Spanish Viceroyalty of Peru. The historic Mint House, La Casa de la Moneda, still preserves the memory of that extraordinary chapter. And finally, Sucre, Bolivia's constitutional capital, shines as a true colonial jewel. Its cobblestone streets, historic churches, and museums reveal the most decisive chapters of the nation's independence. The Altiplano is a land of contrasts, where past and present walk side by side, set against an unforgettable natural and cultural backdrop. In the heart of the Bolivian Altiplano and its valleys, where the wind whispers between snow-capped peaks and the sun paints the sky, rural life unfolds in perfect harmony with nature. It is a unique way of living, blending the peace of the countryside with the spirit of adventure, set against wild and untouched landscapes. In small communities, men and women, their faces weathered by sun and wind, raise alpacas, llamas, and vicuñas, the emblematic animals of the Andes. In adobe homes, women weave garments, keeping alive ancestral techniques passed down through generations. Meanwhile, men tend the fields and herds, preserving millennia-old agricultural traditions. These humble homes shelter families from the piercing cold. Gathered around the hearth, sipping hot coca tea, they prepare traditional dishes with potatoes, corn, and quinoa, gifts of the earth that embody an ancient culture. Yet beyond the quiet life of the villages, nature offers challenges for the more adventurous. Locals practice trekking, mountain biking, and climbing, making the most of the spectacular landscapes around them. Young people explore rugged trails, ride across the plains on horseback, and navigate rivers by kayak. High above, the mountains call to the boldest, inviting explorers and climbers to conquer their summits. Bolivia's Amazon is a vast territory of exuberant beauty and astonishing biodiversity, a true natural treasure where countless species of flora and fauna thrive. From dense forests to mighty rivers, this region provides a unique experience for those who love nature and seek adventure. It is home to elusive wildlife, several species of primates, and brilliant birds that fill the skies with color. Here, nature reveals itself in its purest state, with nearly impenetrable forests and hidden lagoons where giant water lilies bloom. Santa Cruz de la Sierra, known as the gateway to the Amazon, is a vibrant city where modernity and tradition meet. Founded in the 16th century, it has witnessed great historical events and today stands as one of Bolivia's most important economic and cultural centers. With its soaring skyscrapers, tree-lined avenues, and energetic pace, it represents the driving force of the Bolivian economy. Further east lies Puerto Suárez, on the banks of the Paraguay River, a key hub for commerce. Nearby, the Jesuit missions, recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, preserve the region's rich historical legacy. Founded in the 17th century, these missions captivate with their carved wooden churches and Baroque music, echoing a golden age of faith and art. Madidi National Park, one of the most biodiverse areas on Earth, and Noel Kempf Mercado National Park, where the Amazon meets the Andes, are true natural sanctuaries that safeguard an immense variety of ecosystems and species. These parks offer extraordinary opportunities to witness Amazonian wildlife and flora in their purest form. Bolivia's economy reflects its diverse and challenging geography, rich with hidden treasures. From the mines of the Andes to the fertile fields of the eastern lowlands, every sector represents an essential pillar in the nation's path toward development. Deep within the mountains, mining remains the beating heart of the economy. Silver, tin, and gold have shaped Bolivia's history, while the vast lithium reserves of the Salar de Uyuni point toward a promising future in the global technological revolution. Beneath the southern soil, immense natural gas reserves power industry and exports, serving as the country's vital energy engine. Across the plains, agriculture drives growth with the production of soybeans, sugarcane, and grains, while on the Altiplano, an ancestral treasure thrives, royal quinoa. Cattle ranching prospers in the Chaco and the valleys, while Tarija's vineyards, nourished by mountain air, produce high-altitude wines. But Bolivia also faces major challenges. Its dependence on natural resources, a high level of informal labor, and the urgent need for industrialization. The future calls for diversification, investment in technology, and the expansion of clean energy sources. Bolivia is also one of the most affordable countries in South America. A one-bedroom apartment in downtown La Paz costs between $300 and $400 per month, far cheaper than in Chile or Argentina. Food is equally accessible. A full lunch can be found for just $3 to $5. Basic services, such as water, electricity, and gas, average around $50 per month. In terms of safety, cities like La Paz and Santa Cruz experience moderate crime rates, with petty theft being the most common concern, but levels of violent crime remain far lower than in countries such as Brazil or Venezuela. Bolivia is a country located in the heart of South America, defined by its striking geographic diversity and its landlocked condition since the War of the Pacific in 1879. It shares borders with Brazil to the north and east, Argentina to the south, and Chile and Peru to the west, covering a total area of 1,098,581 square kilometers, making it the fifth largest country in South America. With a population of around 12 million people, Bolivians are unevenly distributed, with most living along the central axis formed by the cities of La Paz, Cochabamba, and Santa Cruz. Politically, Bolivia is divided into 9 departments. Each department has an elected governor and is further subdivided into provinces, municipalities, and indigenous campesino territories, a reflection of the country's rich cultural and administrative diversity. One of the most fascinating aspects of Bolivia's geography is the variety of its ecological zones. The country is divided into 3 major regions: the Andean Highlands, with the towering Andes Range, the Interandean Valleys, and the vast eastern lowlands. Among its natural wonders lies the Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat, spanning more than 10,000 square kilometers, formed from the remnants of prehistoric lakes. Bolivia is a country that captivates with its astonishing geographical diversity. From the frozen heights of the Andes to the depths of the Amazon, every corner unveils a unique spectacle of nature. The Altiplano, an immense Andean plateau rising above 3,500 meters, is home to iconic landscapes such as the majestic Lake Titicaca and the surreal Salar de Uyuni. Despite its cold and arid climate, this region bursts with biodiversity, where llamas, vicuñas, and flamingos bring color to the land. Even in the face of adversity, indigenous communities proudly preserve their traditions and way of life. Descending from the mountains, we find the valleys and the Yungas, where the climate becomes milder and more humid. Lush vegetation and the cultivation of coffee, cacao, and tropical fruits create a striking contrast with the dryness of the high plateau. Cities like Cochabamba and Sucre stand as vibrant cultural centers, where history blends seamlessly with modern life. Further east, the plains of the Amazon and the Chaco lead us into a realm of wild and fascinating nature. Dense jungles, powerful rivers, and the arid Gran Chaco shape this vast territory. Its fauna is remarkable, with jaguars, pink river dolphins, and caimans inhabiting its forests and waterways. Santa Cruz, Beni, and Pando are the cities that pulse at the heart of this region. Thus, Bolivia reveals itself as a true mosaic of landscapes, cultures, and climates. A unique destination for those who seek nature, culture, and adventure. From the snow-covered peaks of the Andes to the depths of the Amazon rainforest, Bolivia offers experiences that remain etched in memory forever. Majestic and imposing, the Bolivian Andes rise like guardians of an ancient history and a natural beauty without equal. Their splendor reveals itself in snow-capped peaks such as Condoriri and the mighty Illimani, the white-clad protector watching over La Paz. Meanwhile, vast salt flats stretch as far as the eye can see, shaping surreal landscapes. Canapa Lagoon shimmers serenely as flamingos dance upon its tranquil waters, while further ahead, the Red Lagoon, tinted by microorganisms, seems to burn amid the mountains. In contrast, the Green Lagoon gleams like a giant emerald beneath the shadow of the Lacancaber volcano. Bolivia's volcanic landscapes are a symphony of ash and petrified fire. In the Valley of the Rocks, stone giants defy gravity, standing as silent witnesses to a titanic past. The Cordillera Real, with its ancestral mines, holds deep within the earth the stories of empires, filled with devotees and fortune seekers. But the Andes safeguard not only mineral wealth, but also a profound spiritual legacy. On the legendary island of the sun, cradle of the first Incas, Lake Titicaca unveils its eternal blue. And in Copacabana, where mysticism intertwines with faith, history, and devotion meet, from the mythical death road to hidden trails among snow-capped peaks and silent lagoons. Every corner of the Bolivian Andes is like a poem carved in stone, carried by the wind, and preserved for eternity. In the Bolivian Andes, where the wind sings among the peaks and the sun casts its light upon golden valleys, unfolds a story of deep love for the land and reverence for tradition. There, among towering mountains, dreams are built, and stories are woven into the daily lives of the communities. Since ancient times, men and women have guided their herds of alpacas, llamas, and sheep along hidden trails in the mountains, always seeking the greenest pastures beneath the vast sky. To be a herder is not merely an occupation. It is an ancestral legacy. The shepherds know the secrets of the Altiplano and have learned to read the signs of nature as if they were words written upon the horizon. In the silence of the Highlands, their hands shear the wool of alpacas and sheep, transforming it into colorful threads that will take shape as ponchos, cholos, Andean hats, and blankets. Each piece bears patterns that tell stories of mountains and traditions. Here, wool production goes far beyond the economy. It is an art that flows through generations and beats at the heart of an ancient culture. Yet the richness of the Andes is not found in textiles alone. In the hands of potters, the red clay of the earth comes to life as vessels and figures, preserving the millenary art of Andean ceramics. Each piece is a silent narrative, a bridge to the ancestors, and a living testimony of the profound bond between human beings and the land that sustains them. A true natural paradise in the heart of South America, where the Bolivian Chaco, a vast semi-arid region, reveals a rich cultural heritage and traditions proudly preserved. In this region, communities have adapted to harsh climatic conditions, developing unique agricultural techniques, such as farming in arid areas. The Chaco is also home to diverse wildlife, including animals such as the giant anteater and the peccary. Further east, the Bolivian Pantanal emerges as a realm of water and biodiversity. Each year, seasonal rains transform the savanna into a shimmering mirror of water, where caimans and capybaras glide silently through the tropical landscape. Covering around 85,000 square kilometers, roughly 3% of Bolivia's territory, the Pantanal forms part of the Greater Pantanal, the largest continuous wetland on Earth, which also extends into Brazil and Paraguay. This grand ecosystem, flooded for much of the year, is a natural spectacle unlike any other. Meandering rivers nourish lush vegetation and create sanctuaries for remarkable wildlife. Caimans swim through turbid waters, while jaguars, the largest cats in the Americas, patrol the jungle with stealth. Coatis climb trees with agility, and capybaras, the largest rodents in the world, graze peacefully along the riverbanks. Additionally, majestic birds such as jabiroos and herons find a safe home in this sanctuary of nature. The Bolivian desert, located in the southern Altiplano, is a land of striking contrasts, where extreme aridity meets multicolored lagoons, volcanoes, and wildlife uniquely adapted to harsh conditions. Eduardo Avaroa Andean Fauna National Reserve, in the southwest of the country, is Bolivia's most visited protected area. It shelters breathtaking landscapes, from mountains and salt flats to rock formations sculpted by the wind. The Siloli Desert, a vast expanse of sand and stone, is famed for the stone tree, a natural sculpture shaped by wind erosion. Nearby, the Valley of the Rocks captures the imagination with its curious and impressive rock formations. The Red Lagoon, with its reddish hue caused by microorganisms and sediments, hosts thousands of Andean flamingos, creating a truly spectacular sight. Close by, the White Lagoon and the Pink Lagoon complete this almost surreal scene. Towering over this volcanic landscape is the partially active Oleg volcano, with its colorful slopes and fumaroles, vents releasing steam that reveal the region's intense geothermal activity. Desert wildlife is equally fascinating. Pink flamingos, Andean foxes, vicuñas, and llamas have all made this extreme environment their home. The Bolivian desert is a natural gem, a harsh yet vibrant land where every landscape reveals the power and stunning beauty of nature. Bolivia is a country where the grandeur of the Andes blends with the magic of the Altiplano and the lushness of the Amazon. In the Andean Heights, Sajama National Park, home to the country's highest volcano, the snow-capped Sajama, standing at 6,542 meters, invites us to explore its steaming geysers and hot springs. This park is a high-altitude natural sanctuary, where Andean communities keep ancestral traditions alive, while valleys with lunar-like landscapes and vast plains host the constant grazing of alpacas under the watchful gaze of the imposing snow-capped mountain. Herds of vicuñas roam the plains, and ancient herding trails wind quietly through the mountains. Further ahead, the Cordillera Real unfolds with grand peaks, glaciers, and ice-covered valleys. On its slopes, Lake Titicaca, the world's highest navigable lake, glistens like a sacred mirror, transporting us to ancient times where legends still echo across its islands. Meanwhile, the Altiplano transforms into a desert of wonders, an immense plateau region enchanted by agile and graceful herds of vicuñas racing across the plains. The salt flats shine like endless mirrors, dazzling with their pure whiteness that reflects the sky. Colorful lagoons surprise visitors with their flamingos and surreal scenery. In the Valley of the Rocks, the wind has sculpted natural forms, while the Moon Valley and the Valley of the Suns resemble otherworldly landscapes, with rock formations that defy imagination. In Eduardo Avaroa Andean Fauna National Reserve, colorful lagoons host flamingos that paint the sky, a place where history and nature merge into a symphony of stone, fire, and life. Located on the Bolivian Altiplano, Salar de Uyuni is a one-of-a-kind destination, spanning over 10,000 square kilometers of pure white salt. It is the largest salt flat on the planet. During the rainy season, its surface transforms into a giant mirror that reflects the sky, creating a surreal landscape that seems pulled from a dream. More than just a tourist attraction, the Salar is a natural wonder that challenges the imagination and enchants the senses. Right in the middle of the desert lies the famous Incahuasi Island, where enormous cacti rise like guardians over this breathtaking landscape. Not far from there, the train cemetery, with its rusting locomotives, recalls the industrial history of the region and forms a striking contrast with the endless white expanse of the salt flat. Surrounded by majestic volcanoes such as Tanupa and Alig, Salar de Uyuni is also a geological treasure. Its rock formations, shaped by time and the elements, tell stories of nature's raw power. The Altiplano's lagoons add vibrant splashes of color to the scenery. Laguna Colorada, with its reddish waters teeming with flamingos, and Laguna Verde, with its striking emerald hue, create a dramatic contrast against the endless white of the salt flat. The region also hosts small villages, such as Ojo de Perdiz, and natural hot springs that emerge from the ground, offering moments of tranquility amid the vast, inhospitable expanse of the Bolivian Altiplano. From the heights of the Andes to the depths of the Amazon, Bolivia is a land of wonders and contrasts. If this journey has inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next adventures. Share it with those who also love exploring the world. And as always, keep discovering.